I'm not the type of person who posts long, rambling stories online, but I haven't slept more than 2 hours a night in months. And every time I close my eyes, I see headlights in a pitch-black road that shouldn't exist anymore. So if writing this helps, I'll try. This happened in October of 2021. I was 29, recently divorced, and working deliveries for a regional parts supplier out of Cassidy, Pennsylvania, a small town that's mostly truck stops and a strip of antique stores run by people who look like they were born old. The job paid just enough to cover rent on a one-bedroom above a dentist's office. It wasn't glamorous, but it got me out on the road, which was the only place I felt like I wasn't suffocating under the weight of my own life. That evening, my last delivery was to a garage across the state line in upstate New York. My GPS told me to take Route 17, but a few miles past the state border, I hit a wall of flashing lights. A state trooper stood in the middle of the road, waving traffic back. "Accident up ahead," he called out. "Road shut down for at least 3 hours." I asked for a detour. He pointed vaguely behind me. "Backtrack 2 miles, take County Road 12. It hooks around." He didn't offer more detail. I didn't ask. It was already past 9, and the temperature had dropped sharply. I turned around, took the road he mentioned, and within minutes, my GPS signal died. No bars. The road itself grew narrow, winding like a ribbon between dense, dark trees. My dashboard clock blinked 9:42 p.m. when I came to a fork. Unmarked, no signage, just 2 identical strips of cracked pavement. The left path looked slightly wider, so I took it. The strangest part is that I don't remember making that decision. I was just on that road suddenly, as though the car had chosen for me. After 15 minutes, the trees thinned, revealing patches of fog hovering low over the road. My headlights hit something reflective up ahead, a road sign. As I got closer, the words took shape. "Old Route 17, closed permanently. No through traffic. State order. August 1974. Why would that trooper send me toward a road that had been closed for nearly 50 years? I slowed when a pair of headlights appeared behind me. A large vehicle, coming fast. Relief washed over me. If someone else was using this road, I couldn't be too lost. But as the vehicle approached, something felt off. The lights were too bright, almost blinding. They glided, steady, fixed, like the vehicle was moving on perfectly smooth rails. I pulled to the side to let it pass, but it didn't. The lights grew larger, filling my rearview mirror. Then they vanished. No turnoff, no sound, just gone. Another mile, and the pavement ended abruptly, dissolving into gravel. My tires crackled loudly in the silence. The road opened into a clearing with tall, dead grass swaying. A few wooden poles stood crookedly, connected by sagging telephone wires that hummed faintly in the wind. That's when I saw the woman. She stood on the right side of the road, facing the trees, not me. Jet black hair, long enough to reach her lower back, and wearing a pale gray dress that moved unnaturally like it was underwater. I rolled down my window a few inches. "Hey, are you okay? Do you need help?" She didn't turn. "Ma'am?" I tried again. Nothing. Normally, I'm a decent person, but every survival instinct I had was screaming at me to drive away. I'd seen enough true crime shows to know how this plays out. I was about to put the car in gear when she finally moved, not by turning, by slowly tilting her head, backwards, far past human limits, until her face, pale, expressionless, was staring at me upside down. My body locked. My hands froze on the steering wheel. Her mouth opened slightly. He's waiting. I slammed the car into drive and shot forward, gravel spitting out from under my tires. In my rearview mirror, she stood perfectly still, head still bent back, watching me until the road curved and I lost sight of her. The road narrowed again. Ahead, dimly lit by my high beams, was a rusted metal bridge. The moment my tires hit the bridge, my radio, dead for the past half hour, crackled to life, static. Then faintly, "Turn around." I reached for the dial. "Turn around now." The voice was male, calm, ordinary, which somehow made it infinitely worse. I was halfway across. I just wanted off the damn thing. The moment I cleared it, my engine sputtered, coughed, then died. All the lights blinked out, except something else lit up. In the trees to my right, two tiny white dots, perfectly round. They blinked, eyes. Someone, or something, stood in the darkness watching me. I didn't breathe. The dots slowly rose. Whatever it was had to be at least 7 feet tall. I hit the ignition. Nothing. The eyes blinked a second time, and I swear I heard the faintest sound, a wet, dragging inhale. Finally, on the fourth attempt, the engine roared back to life. The eyes were gone. I floored it. The road straightened and widened, and soon I saw lights ahead. Actual lights, warm yellow ones. A town. Thank God. I slowed as I approached the sign, "Welcome to Hemlock Ridge Pop." 482. I'd lived in this region my whole life and had never heard of it. The town looked frozen in time. Old brick storefronts with faded, hand-painted signs, a gas station with analog pumps, and a small diner glowing softly on the corner like a lantern. There wasn't a single person in sight, but the diner door was open and I could see someone inside behind the counter. I parked and stepped out carefully, half expecting my legs to give out. A bell jingled as I entered. The air smelled like old coffee and frying oil. An older man in a white apron turned toward me. He looked completely normal, human. That alone nearly brought me to tears. "Late for a traveler," he said with a small smile. "Kitchen's closed, but I can get you a coffee." "That would be great," I said, voice shaking. He poured a cup and slid it toward me. "You came off old Route 17, didn't you?" My stomach dropped. "Yeah. It wasn't supposed to be closed." He chuckled once darkly. "Son, that road washed out decades ago. Flood took the whole valley. Nothing's been down that way in years." My mouth went dry. "But I drove it tonight." His expression softened into something like pity. "You're not the first to say that." "What's that supposed to mean?" Instead of answering, he looked at the window behind me. "Storm's moving in. Best head out while you can." I turned. The window was pitch black. No street, no lights, just darkness, as if someone had draped a void over the town. A deep rumble echoed, but not thunder. Something heavier, closer. Where are the street lights?" I whispered. When I turned back to the counter, the man was gone. The entire diner was empty. My coffee was still steaming. The bell above the door jingled softly, even though no one had passed through. That was when I noticed the reflection in the window, not mine. A tall, dark figure standing behind me. I spun around. Nothing there. That was it. I bolted. I ran out the door, jumped into my car, and tore out of town. The road I entered from was gone, replaced by one long stretch of asphalt leading into darkness. No signs, no intersections, just forward. For minutes, maybe hours, I drove without seeing anything but trees. The sky never lightened. The clock never changed from 12 a.m. blinking like a dead heartbeat. Then, ahead, headlights. The same pair I'd seen earlier. They rushed toward me. I slammed my brakes. My car skidded sideways, tires shrieking. The lights grew closer, 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 then burst past me with a blast of cold air that rocked my car so hard it nearly tipped. I screamed. The lights vanished around a bend in the trees, but I didn't wait. I drove the opposite direction, flooring it until I felt the car might tear apart. And then, suddenly, bright, overwhelming daylight. I blinked. I was on the real Route 17 again, just a quarter mile from the highway I'd originally been headed toward. Traffic hummed normally around me. My clock read 10:18 p.m. I had been gone maybe 40 minutes. No fog, no closed road, no Hemlock Ridge. I tried reporting what happened, but the trooper at the station looked at me like I was drunk or sleep-deprived. "There's no County Road 12, he said, and no town called Hemlock Ridge anywhere in the state." He let me look at the map myself. He was right. I quit that delivery job a week later. I still pass through parts of Pennsylvania and New York sometimes, but I avoid back roads. I avoid anything without streetlights, and I definitely avoid anything that looks like it's leading into woods. But here's what keeps me awake. 2 months ago, I got a package with no return address. Inside was a crumpled road sign, rusted, bent. The words were barely readable, but I know what they said. "Welcome to Hemlock Ridge Pop." 482. At the bottom, written in smeared black marker, was a single sentence. "He's still waiting." I haven't been able to throw it away. Sometimes, when I'm driving late, I swear I see headlights in my mirror, too bright, too steady, gliding silently through the night. And once, just once, I could have sworn that in the woods beside the highway, 2 pale white dots blinked at me.